for keeping me employed this month with that. All right, blue-white control. We had played a little bit of blue-white control earlier that felt really reasonable. This build's a bit different than the last one we played. This one's actually doing something that's kind of neat. So, Time Wipe is a new sweeper that we got in the latest set that returns a creature you control to your hand before blowing everything up. So, by playing this as our sweeper of choice, this blue-black deck is leveraging, or blue-white deck, sorry, is playing Deputy of Detention in the main deck in order to play this early to then time wipe and pick your deputy back up and like give them back the creature under deputy that then dies to time wipe, which is pretty sweet. At least I believe that's how that works. I think that's how that works. Or am I wrong? If there's a creature under here, does time wipe kill the creature? I believe that's how. Let's play some matches. I'm sure it's gonna come up. Let's play some matches and confirm that that's how that works. It's not a trigger. I don't think it's a trigger. I don't remember. It doesn't use the stack. Yeah. I don't believe it uses the stack, so let's go on a learning experience. It'll take 4 matches to come up. Yeah, maybe. If we play against a bunch of Reclamation, it's not going to come up for a little bit. So, like, is Teferi the sheriff? If we have the Deputy of Detention, does that make Teferi the sheriff? Because lots of people want to shoot Teferi. He's a rude dude. Oh, wait, we didn't shoot the sheriff, but we shot the deputy. So we don't shoot Teferi? Is that how that works? I think that's how that works. So probably gonna blink their play this turn and then absorb on the way back down. Or they don't have a play. Got it. Wait. We just started on blue-white control. Yeah, last time we played this archetype, we had Narset's reversals in the sideboard, and they were very good. So that's a card I'm going to be thinking about when we play a little bit. Bye, Felicia. Dovin is the sheriff. I still played against some Sultai, but it's mostly fallen off on Magic Arena. And, like, that makes sense. Like, I would expect Sultai to be reasonably represented at the Open this weekend because it's just a good deck. But, like, Arena, people can play a lot of Magic on Arena very quickly. So, like, Sultai didn't really get very good or new interesting tools. So people, like, know that that deck's good and they're trying other things. Can we pour one out for the art in this new set? I agree, G-Goat. It's really good. Would you like those biddies to go to full art something in the new set? Because we can definitely make that happen.
I am here to aid in the
Probably blinking the Gideon next turn. Hey, Lucos. Thank you for the 6 months. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around.
I'm getting too old.
Getting too old for this. CJNJ checking in for the 7th month. Welcome back. Kick it. Do you have a favorite shell for Saheeli so far? Probably the Jeskai list we played the other day. The Jeskai list we played the other morning was pretty reasonable. Of course, Lucas. We aim to please. I think I'm going to crank this up to 3 and kill Gideon with it.
I will lend you my strength.
Time for plan B, as soon as I think of one.
At least we have a backup Teferi for when he dies next turn.
Hurry!
Oh, wait. He doesn't have to die. Oh, this is great. We can put this up to 3 and then untap it and blow it up. So we need to blow it up on our end of turn because Gideon becomes indestructible on their turn. That's why I put a stop at my end step. That's some good clean living. This build of blue-white control is super non-committal on its lands. It has 1 Field of Ruin, 1 Blast Zone, 1 Mobilized District. It's just like, has no idea which colorless land it wants to play. And I'm confident that that's not right. However, I'm not confident which of those 3 it wants to favor, so I did leave them 1, 1, and 1. Wow, that's rude. Teferi was supposed to live another turn, opponent. You're a rude dude, Soren. At least he can't return anything.
Right, no time for a break.
This lets me Chemister's Insight, which is sweet. Yeah, I'm like, Teferi's already a strong card, right? So it's like, just putting another... God, that's good. Halfwing Scene, thank you for the brand new tier 1 sub. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me employed here. So we lost another Teferi there, but we're still ahead, right? Like, I get to Chemister's Insight, and then I get to Deputy of Detention this, which then blocks their 2-1. And, like, I have a Jumpstart Chemister's Insight left over still. Wait, why are they Plaguecraft Ring again? Are they just, like, down-ticking this to make me discard a card? Sure. Yep. Magic's great. Oh, they want a 3-2. That makes sense. Oh, because they can get this back. All right, I'm picking up what they're putting down. I like it.
Keep up the pace.
Keep up the pace. Be very quiet. We're hunting mid-range players. Hi, friends. Man. Has Mono Blue... It's going to be... And this is why, like... It's going to be interesting to see, like, the tournament results in this format. Because, like, if Mono Blue falls off a bit, Settle the Wreckage gets much better. Because, like, main deck Siren Storm Tamers everywhere was definitely the reason why this card was not stellar for a little bit. It's garbage time. You don't have to go home, but you can't play here. Do 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 do. Yeah, I agree. One of the compelling reasons to play Mono Blue was to beat Nexus, and Blast Zone changes the dynamic of that matchup. The Grazer changes the dynamic of the matchup too. The 0-3 with Reach is very good. I like how we're still playing Magic. Yeah, right side. You know, like, knowing when to concede when you're at 28 life is a very important skill. It's like, we can keep playing, but this game is done. Seal Away is so good against Gideon. I guess Guardmage is pretty good here too, huh? Commence the Endgame's a little expensive. This card is hilarious with Time Wipe. That's awesome. Is it crazy to cut some copies of Absorb here? And by some, I mean all of them. I think I'd rather have Veto, right? Turn 2 on the draw. Veto counters Gideon and History. I'm going to trim a Deputy. Lyra, also good with Time Wipe. I like the look of this deck a lot. The last blue-white control deck we played also felt good, and I think I like what this one is doing better. Thanks for the 5 months, Dazin. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Thanks for keeping me employed here. Happy Saturday night, everyone, by the way. I'm interested to see what our viewer count jumps to once the open finishes up. Looks like they're in the last round now. So this hand's a good example of we have lands and spells, but we know our opponent's playing kind of an aggressive deck, so this is not a keep, right? Can I let myself get talked into it with Search for Azcanta? Does Azcanta find me stuff quick enough to keep this? Probably not, right? If I had like a 5-mana sweeper, maybe I could do it, but... Chalky, without reading your article, is your conclusion you should just play the same number of lands as not under the London Mulligan? Because my stomach is usually good in positions like this, and that's what my stomach says. My stomach says don't change your deck based on the Mulligan rule. Nice, Ferris. I'm glad that's working out for you. So I'm going to get to Deputy their Vanguard next turn, which then gives me a blocker for Gutter Bones, which is nice. We're so good at this. Stopping in for my YouTube sub on my monthly timeout. Well, thanks for the 4 months, Let It Rip. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Well, that's not really a useful comparison then, right, Chalky? Or like a useful... It seems like what you did isn't particularly useful in terms of calculating it. Like, why wouldn't you want to draw... God, this card is awesome. The conclusion is you should play more lands. I mean, that's the conclusion with every deck. And I am like picking up what this deck is putting down. Let's play some more matches here, shall we? Give me some Wilderness Reclamation. I want to see how we feel against the bad guy. We've got good tools to beat the bad guy up, theoretically. I want to see if it plays out that way. And I feel like I'm playing with fire by saying this, but I'm feeling like my energy's pretty good. I was worried about being too tired to stream this evening. I haven't started a stream at 4 o'clock in a long time. I'm an old man. The 9 to 5 life suits me. You're anywhere close to the magical 99. You are at 43, Greg. And by that, I mean you're at 44. It'll creep out of nowhere. Yeah, I've got iced tea and Red Bull, so my plan is to go till at least midnight. Southern Man Gaming checking in for the 3-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Listen, chat. The deck queue is long and full of terrors. As of starting this stream, there were 48 decks in the standard queue. So my goal is to play through them as many as possible. Until the submission rate slows down again, I plan to put in the extra hours. Thief of Sanity. Rude. Time wipe looking a little awkward here. I said 48. Which 48 decks in the deck queue like sounds like a lot, but in reality, that's only like a week and a half worth of decks, right? All right, let's find out if time wipe works how we want it to. Yeah, it does. Yeah, it does. All right. Deal. I think I'm gonna ditch this because I have Field of Ruin to beat this Azcanta down the line. So I think I just time wipe again and kill this Nicol Bolas. Although you could argue that I should just get my search for Azcanta into play here because my opponent's playing Grixis and likely can't interact with this card once it's in play. And this card could single-handedly win us the game. Time wipe plus Deputy is very good. I agree. We're gonna start cranking this up to kill this Nicol Bolas here. They're still one turn away from flipping this. So we'll get there sooner. Unless they hit something like Dispersal here. With a land, we're good. Love tap. Baby love tap. Baby, baby love tap. Baby love tap. Love tap, baby. Do, 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 do. The trade-off of this card costing mana to put counters on it versus being able to put multiple counters per turn is interesting. So, like, obviously, Dovin's Veto is a good card to draw there, but it's not so good that I'm willing to not flip my Azcanta this turn. How do you feel about turning on removal and pure control mirrors? I mean, it probably sucks a little bit game one. But, like, post-board, we have a lot of good tools for the control mirrors, so it's probably still okay. I don't know. I'd have to play against Esper to find out. Like, obviously, the answer is it's not great. When we played the other blue-white iteration, that deck felt like it really dunked on Esper. So I wouldn't be surprised if this deck also dunks on Esper. I mean, getting my Deputy bedecked there means they now don't have Bedazzle to kill my Azcanta. So, like, that's super appealing. Unless they have another one, of course. Yep.
Will resonate throughout the multiverse. Another time, Planeswalk witness a mote of my power.
We're in kind of a precarious spot at the moment. They obviously have two Nicol Bolases. The fact that they just did that Need to do this in response so I can still draw 2 cards. Because Narset prevents me from drawing cards otherwise. Alright, that's a Deputy of Detention.
I train every day. No one is more prepared than me. With thoughtfulness.
And I wonder if they're missing a 7th land. They must be missing a 7th land here, right? Nope. Feels like we're a little bit too far gone at this point. Alright, that's an absorb. So I can, like, Deputy the Dragon God. But then they can flip this and shoot him.
Schemes have been foiled.
Yeah, so like, having played Grixis tends to struggle against the Reclamation decks, but it tends to be really good against other control decks. This is where its strength comes from. Hey, what's going on, Death Apparatus? Yeah, we got plenty of live one left this evening. So like now they can Rampage plus play Bolas. Blast Zone's only at 3. I'm gonna go ahead and pack it in here. My gut says I want to do that. This blocks Thief of Sanity nicely. I'm a little bit light on ways to interact with Thief, but this seems reasonable otherwise. Like, don't have any cards that are, like, bad. Yeah, Gideon's for the control matchup. It's a 4/4 that pressures their planeswalkers. Welcome to folks that are coming in now that the Open's wrapping up. Hanging out playing some blue-white control. We're going to be going most of the evening. If I'm feeling conscious as we get closer to midnight, I might do more than just the 4 decks we have in the stream title. Depending on what the viewer count's like too. I think Caleb said he was taking this evening off, so it might be an okay viewer count night, even though this is not normally a time when I stream usually. This hand's great. This card is so good. Wonder how Austin Collins ended up finishing up day 1. He had 4 of these in his blue-black main deck, and it seems super sweet. Excellent. I guess now the question is, do I want to hold up Absorb? They might Thought Erasure us and force the issue. I think saying blue-white control is the same as Esper but with neutral lands is oversimplifying what's actually going on. Similar to how saying blue-black is the same as Esper but without the white cards. I feel like these decks are enough different that they're kind of just fundamentally different decks. And like, I get that they're both control decks and they're like one color off, but if you look at how many cards different they are, it's a big deal. The play patterns that they go through seem plenty different. This might be greedy, but I'm gonna keep this here. I think I just want as many threats as possible here. I do really need a 5th land to be able to cast one of these next turn, but I think it's important that I be able to do that. Don't play a 4-mana Bolas. That's kind of a meeting. Hoping to draw lands here. Brutal.
The focus, and I have just the trick for this.
They're probably dead at this point. Depends on what their leftovers are, obviously, but I think an average power level hand dumpsters us from here.
My mind needs a rest. I know only to keep an open mind.
Alright, Mobilized District here is great. Because it means if, Mobilized District means that when I tuck this, if they play this and shoot Teferi, Mobilized District can kill their Nicol Bolas. Which is really good for us. It can also just mop up this Narset. So that way I can, start drawing cards with this and this. 5 cards in my bin right now. It's getting close to flipping this. If this dies, we can transform Azcanta. This is someone else's blue-white control list, I rate. It's a separate submission of the one we played last time. I think I gotta bin that. Especially with the Narset in play. I think I just Teferi Tuck again, right? And then from there, the question becomes, do I want to play this Plains? Because if I play the Plains, I lose the Chemister's Insight to this. That's probably fine, though. I'm going to hit my land drop. It does work, Vash. We had it come up earlier. Yeah, they want this card. They know my last card is Insight. So, like, they're going to play 4 mana Nick, because if they play the other Nick, my Mobilized District kills their thing. My Teferi doesn't do anything here other than untap my lands, which sucks.
Hone your prowess.
The fact that they activated Narset here means that they're not redrawing Thief, which is decent for us. Alright, so do I do this? I think so. Ugin's a good draw. And Teferi does at least untap my land still. So I'm going to get to activate Azcanta again this turn. That's why I didn't leave mana up to play Gideon, because I want to activate Azcanta. Although you could maybe argue that I'm supposed to leave up mana to activate Gideon. If they hit a land here, they can flip Nick. But again, I think that's not a big deal, because I have Ugin the Ineffable in my hand. Tasty, thank you for the very generous tier 2 resub. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I agree, Gad. That's why, like, Baffling End is still pretty good removal in the face of Enchantment Hate, because it gives them a 3/3 back instead of giving them their actual threat back. They gonna reanimate my Teferi here.
Why be a beast when I can be a god?
So, like, if they reanimate my Teferi here, I kill their Gideon, I kill their Nicol Bolas with my Mobilized District. I mean, the prison is also very susceptible to removal.
I'm known for my excellent timing. Hold that thought.
I mean, I definitely think this matchup is not good for us. I don't think that's particularly close. I think this is not a good matchup for what we have going on. I don't think we're just dead by any means, but it's definitely not a good scene for our hero. So, I can Teferi, tuck my Teferi in. But then they get to keep their flipped nick, which probably isn't good for me. So I think I Gideon Blackblade and then fire up District, hit their Nicol Bolas. I believe is the play to win line.
Gods bless us in our righteous cause.
And he does ult relatively quickly, which will give me another answer to a Planeswalker in a second here.
Share my light.
So I get to give this a love tap. Another cute thing here is that Ugin the Ineffable, his plus still draws cards through Narset, which is nice. That's not a legal play, BJ Sin. Little Tef can't bounce Planeswalkers. That card's great. It'd be even better if it could, but that's not in its rules text. So if they have a land here, they can play Nicol Bolas and activate their Azcanta, which is probably what they're looking to do. Now, something that's sweet is if they don't kill my Gideon Blackblade, I can play Teferi and activate Mobilized District next turn. So much for that plan. So I assume we'll see a Nick come down here.
The immortal Nicol Bolas will be your end.
Gonna exile a Plains here rather than one of the 2 walkers from my hand, I think. My opponent's gonna draw 2 more cards this turn with Teferi and Nick.
I will return one day.
A little bit choked on mana so far this game, which makes me happy we discarded the Chemister's Insight earlier as opposed to the Plains. Oh geez, they get to activate their Azcanta this turn too. Yeah, I think they've pulled enough ahead on resource efficiency that we're probably too far gone here. So I know they have another Nicol Bolas. So I think the play is Teferi, tuck my other Teferi in.
I am not going to.
And then if they Bolas down tick here, I can Mobilize District, kill this, and then Ugin can answer this the following turn.
Reverse.
We're definitely not in a good spot, but I feel like we can build a route out of this still. But Devils, sure. Exiling another land when they plus their Nick this turn.
Let your weak minds crumble.
Yep. Yeah, I think we're pretty done here. That definitely did not feel good. I'm not really sure. I'm not really sure that we have tools that can make that much better. Yes, Declan. Can you go tell Mom, please? Thank you. Did that come over the microphone? Blue Scowl, thank you for the 9 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I haven't played Arena since the most recent patch. They added some avatars. They added some other alter arts. Some other border extension cards, both for cards in the new set and some older cards. It's pretty good. I think I'm going to bottom that. If they're an aggro deck, I might want that card, but I think I just want to be proactive and dig for the 3rd land here. Alright, this hand's pretty good against Esper Control. hexproof from white. That's obnoxious for us. As far as, like, non-land draws go, this card's pretty good. So we're going to take a little bit of a hit next turn, but Deputy of Detention is going to clear out these tokens before they go in on us. Mass Manipulation is an interesting idea. I feel like that card's probably too hard to resolve most of the time, though. And unfortunately, this deck can't really play...
Let me lead the charge.
This deck can't really play,
I believe.
what's the word I'm searching for? We can't really play Spyglass against Grixis because they have too much artifact removal. Oh, yikes. This is a 5-3. I think I'm jump blocking here, huh?
Prepare for battle.
Like, I'm like trying to think about like what I can even draw here. I feel like it's just like nothing, right? It's like, and now I have 4 lands. Like maybe Settle the Wreckage buys us a turn. I'm just dead to this card, right? Yeah, I can't bounce this with little Teferi because these are white cards.
I believe in you, friend.
They fire up the Mobilized District, we're dead. Otherwise, we're going to 1 and then seal, and then Settle the Wreckage can buy another turn. Maybe they'll play around, settle, and never attack again, right? I get 4 looks at our 1 settle. The last build of blue-white that we played had 2 settles in it, and I kind of didn't hate that. It did not feel unreasonable. You can see playing more of this card in here. It's definitely... Settle is definitely very good against, like, these mid-range decks like what the opponent's playing. It was kind of lackluster against Sultai because they had Hydroid Crisis to leverage, but like the non-Crisis mid-range decks, Settle's very reasonable. Why blue-white over Esper or any third color? Why Esper over blue-white? Why Esper over Temur Reclamation or blue-green Reclamation? Is Settle better than Time Warp? Why not both? They're definitely like, those are cards that are like situationally different in different spots. So like Time Wipe's better in some positions and Settle is better in others. Like against Gideon explicitly, Settle the Wreckage is much better than Time Wipe, right? But there's going to be some other spots where that's just like not true. The big appeal to playing 2 colors is the utility lands, for sure. And, like, in their defense, like, there are some really good colorless lands in this format, right? Like, both Blaststone and Mobilized District are super powerful. They're cards I've been impressed with, at least.
Sorry I'm late. I'll protect you.
Sure. Can't take this one. I think the amount of color Settle takes is like the least relevant part about the comparison, honestly. John Harris. I don't think that's even worth mentioning. The mana cost is a big consideration. The fact that it can exile things like Gideon is a big consideration. The big downside to something like Settle the Wreckage is the fact that, like, it's kind of obvious when you pass with 4 mana up in decks like this a lot of the time. And your opponent can, like, half attack into it because of that. So with 3 colors, the mana base is less reliable as we remember for utility lands. Yeah, exactly. It's hard to play lands that don't make colors in your 3-color decks. So the question here is, do I want to play this and then chump block this? I think I do, just to, like, get through my deck. I was saying, if you have your double white, you don't have to worry as much. So basically, if you're on your 5th turn of the game and you have double white but not a blue mana, you probably have bigger problems. You're probably not playing Magic. Like, the blue pip in the casting cost of this card is basically irrelevant.
You just let me know.
Like, it's a given in any average game that you're playing that you're, like, gonna have this. Oh my gosh. When you Deputy a Danto Vanguard and the Vanguard comes back, it guarantees dies to time wipe, because there's no point at which they can pay for to make it indestructible, because it comes back and then dies all in the same part. That's awesome. Nifty, thanks to 11 months, welcome back. Yeah, I agree. Between Sultai being on the downtick and Mono Blue's been less popular lately. Like, obviously, the tournament results in the coming weeks could change those two things, but on the ladder, on Arena, recently, those two things have not really been, have kind of not been around, which makes Settle the Wreckage better than it was before. Kick it. I guess I technically should tap the Blast Zone and leave Hallowed Fountain up there so I can have these active. I don't get the Vanguard thing. When you cast Time Wipe, returning this to my hand... Oh wow, I'm gonna get punished too if they downtick this. Returning this to my hand... and this destroying all the creatures happens all at the same time. And what that means is there's never an opportunity while the Vanguard's in play and they have priority to make it indestructible before the time wipe resolves. So, like, this comes into play and dies all in the window of this resolving, the way Deputy of Detention works. I don't think it matters here. It feels like we're just going to get beat up. I just don't have a good answer to Liliana or that Gideon.
Together we can banish evil from this plane. Your light will cleave the darkness.
Show us the interaction before you concede. That's probably a good idea. But I've already conceded. Basically, they can't save their Vanguard. The Vanguard dies. Is the answer. You can see a little bit, Gideon. Sure. That's accurate. How do I beat everything else, though? You're right. I'm beating the Gideon with my cards. How am I beating the rest of it? Narset's Reversal. That's a card that could be good against Gideon, or good against Grixis. Yeah, let's get rid of these Spell Pierces. It's a card that was good last time we played this. I have been impressed with this one. You know, I think I'm actually going to put a third Settle on the board. I think it's really good against these white aggro decks. Sure, Irate. And in the in-between, when I destroy their board to pick the deputy back up, they draw like 4 cards. These cards have like a lot of text on them. Alright, we're on the play. Perfect. Always want that on 2. Augur of Bolas. Look at that. There's the Augur of Bolas I know and hate. 1-3. Rearrange the bottom 3 cards of your library in any order. Nice, man. Yeah, resolves. Oh, yeah. Inject the Augur right into my veins, chat. Inject the Augur directly into my veins. It feels so validated right now. It feels so validated right now. And before anybody says anything about my opponent potentially being unlucky, do you know what the miss rate is on Augur? If you have like 26 spells in your deck, your Augur still misses 20% of the time. That is an absurd fail rate. Do I want to animate this and kill their Augur? I think I want to animate this and kill their Augur. If they play Teferi, I can like untap and play Teferi of my own. I guess they could have a Dovin's Veto to make that sad. I'm gonna eat their 1-3. Wow, brutal. They did tap off of Absorb here, though, so...
We need to move quickly.
Deal. Here's my Planeswalker. We did activate their trap cards, you're not wrong. Interplanar Beacon. Alright, so... I would be incredibly surprised if you can both make Augur of Bolas and Interplanar Beacon be things you want in the same deck. This probably means they're pulling in too many directions. Hey, look, my 1-3 has text. That's nice. Hey, Ants, thanks for the 6 months. I appreciate that. Welcome back. I mean, Omen Speaker is not really a playable card either, right? That's a blast zone, not a district. Oh gosh, did I activate their trap card again? Wow, rude. You're not supposed to have that many trap cards, opponent. Stop it.
That was uncalled for.
Ooh, I found a piece of candy, chat.
Hurry.
Yeah, they get to choose the target if they do the thing. Uh-oh, whoops.
With thoughtfulness before action.
This isn't a fight you can win.
Bounce their augurs to show how little respect you have for them. Combat trick me now. Tilt. Tilt.
I won't hide from the war. You need to take a time out.
I showed you I have an Ugin. Why would you get that back? I showed you I have an
This is
Ugin.
hardly my worst defeat. Now.
Oh, I guess they can counter this Ugin theoretically.
We are but motes in a vast frontier. Your past is unwritten.
Let's skip to the good part.
I'm not activating Narset because I would prefer they don't draw a card with this. And if they want to draw a card with this, they have to kill Narset, and then they're not killing Ugin. Seems ideal.
No time.
Yeah, they need Negate or Dovin's Veto there. Seems like we're in a pretty good spot here. I have the flipped Azcanta now too. Commence the Endgame about to be aptly named here. They didn't have white mana for Veto. Good catch. Okay, I'm just gonna pass. At 5/5's adorable.
We need to move quickly.
They showed me theirs. I feel like it's only fair that I show them mine. Yeah, I should attack their Teferi. Whatever.
Truth lies beyond vision.
I'm not ready for this quite.
I'm gonna tuck that in. They don't really have a lot else to do with their mana. So I feel like we're pretty far ahead if we do that. Like, I've got 2 walkers going to their 1. Get a group full of cards.
You know what? I'm not done yet.
We need to establish dominance as the superior blue-white control deck here. Let them know what's up.
Itself serves me.
Counter me, baby. Alright, second verse, same as the first. A little bit louder and a whole lot worse. That one. Thank you. Dunk. You gave me a Teferi. I didn't even get you anything for Christmas, opponent. Thanks. Take back all those bad things I said about you. That's true. We are losing this game by one of the metrics that could be relevant.
Let's skip to the good part.
I don't know, Zombie. Depends on what their sideboard looks like. I'm definitely not boarding Deputy out. Our deputies seem great. in danger of decaying. It's 27 to 29, so not quite yet. We could get there, though.
Keep up the pace.
Ugin is very, very good. I agree.
I know my
It's been
responsibility.
truly fantastic.
More like it. Suppose that's how it's meant to be.
Dovin is incredibly skillful. I agree. Felt like we'd been in garbage time there for a little while. I think I want the Elite Guardmage. This card's like annoying and attacks their stuff and just like draws me a card when I play it. Like the floor on a card that draws a card is like pretty high, right? Like still pretty reasonable even when it's not fantastic. How much longer do I expect I'll be streaming? I don't know, another 4 or 5 hours at least. My plan was to go till at least midnight. If our numbers are good and I'm still conscious, I might run past that. I don't have anything to do tomorrow. So like, what's better? So I feel like my 3 worst cards here are like blank Deputy Guardmage. Nah, drawing a card's way better than making them discard a card. Reversal on Commence is real good. You're not wrong. This is probably the worst of them, huh? As much as I want to draw a card and gain some life. It's bad against their Narsets too, which they're likely to have. Alright, sorry Guardmage. Maybe next time. Ebok, that's your 50th time out. Putting up some real numbers these days. How are we supposed to win the life gain game if we board them out? Asking the real questions. We boarded in a Gideon. Gideon can plus on our deputy. Yeah, reversal. Reversal is just aces in a counter fight. Super, super good. So, like, I'm torn here. On one side, I kind of don't want to jam into their stuff. On the other side, they have Azcanta going. So, like, it might be right to jam into their stuff because I have Azcanta going. They're missing land drops. That's good. Hitting our 6th land is great because it means I can time Raveler with Absorb up next turn. The fact that we're hitting land drops and they have the Azcanta out is so good. I think I'm actually just going to pass here. Just cast this Chemister's Insight, trade hit my land drop. That's a good draw. That's a real good draw. Hey, Beacons. I hope the Citadel deck doesn't gain any notoriety because I'm having fun comboing people out of nowhere. That's selfish. I would like to absorb your absorb. Search your library for 2 Planeswalker cards, reveal them, and put them into your hand. Man, that's some next level technology.
I've got it.
I agree, Ostin. I think Green-Black Citadel is the perfect example of what I would define as a healthy combo deck. It is a combo deck that you can answer with permanent base hate, counterspell, and notably creature removal. It's a combo that requires a specific creature to stay in play, while also, what's the word I'm searching for? While also being susceptible to like artifact removal. Hey, Kenzie, thanks for 11 months. Welcome back. This game's pretty done, right? This card's just gonna dunk them. Can I staple these to Abzan Reanimator? You most definitely can. Thanks for keeping me around. I appreciate that, Halfwing. I think I'm just tucking in their Azcanta. I basically just want to, like, keep them stumbling on mana, right? Just, like, make sure they don't recover. Brand Metfert, thank you very much for the Twitch Prime. Hope you're having a fantastic weekend. Thanks for being played here. I'm not going to attack with this, because if they randomly have Seal Away in their deck, it's not worth hitting them for 1 point of damage. Sure.
This isn't a fight you can win. Not so fast.
So I get to redraw Deputy with this Chemister's Insight. And then I get to Deputy this and Mobilized District, kill their Teferi. Which seems like pretty good for the home team.
I tried my best.
No time for a break.
Having this card in play in these counterspell mirrors is such a huge advantage. I can't play this and activate Mobilized District, unfortunately. It is what it is. Mobilized District continues to be impressive, though.
Only time will tell.
Only time will tell. I would like to commence the endgame instead, please. Yeah! Get out of here. Can't be countered, huh? Can still get tempoed to hell and back, though. Can't be countered, can still get out tempoed. Alright, alrighty. Let's jam one more here, shall we? What an apt card. The end game was commenced, just not in the way the opponent wanted it to be commenced. You could have played Ugin, because it would have been reduced by 3. I think I only had one, unless I miscounted. I think I only had one land available after casting Ugin, and I needed 2, right? Because I needed 1 to activate it, and then it to be able to attack. So, like, if I would have played it, it could have activated itself, but then it would have been tapped and couldn't attack. I could have miscounted, and we could go back and check the tape, but definitely wouldn't be the first time I've miscounted. Any interesting decks at SCG? There was a tokens deck that went, there was a tokens deck that went undefeated. There was a blue-black mid-range deck that was 5-0 at least at one point. Fantastic. That's exactly what the Doctor ordered. This card's so great. Ooh, this is slick. This is basically a 2-mana Planeswalker, huh? And this is a Grixis card that ramps you. Is this card great? Is this card good or is this card great?
Let's try this.
It's one of the two. Who am I sending back? I think it's Soul Diviner. I want to keep this around. Rude. I was hoping to hit my 5th land there. Yeah, I am super stoked for the new non-rotating format to get here on Arena.
We should have seen that coming.
It's gonna be super sweet. She does draw a card off of 4-mana Nick. Temple of Tilt. Temple of Tilt. Do 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 do. Yeah, this is kind of like build your own divination, right?
Time to clam up.
So do I seal this away in response? Nah, I don't think so. I think I just want a Chemister's Insight. I think I want to absorb something or Chemister's Insight here.
I've got that sinking feeling.
Yeah, these split color planeswalkers, I feel like I've overlooked some of the places to put that. It's like Saheeli, right? Like Saheeli has blue and red mana in her casting cost, but in reality, she's a mono red and a mono blue card, right? Just like this, like when I looked at this card in the original spoiler, I was like, oh, this is a blue-green card. But this is actually just a blue card and just a green card. We're missing land drops, which sucks, but like they're not really doing anything, so I actually feel like we're kind of in an okay spot. I think I want to just play this to help me hit land drops. How has Deputy felt with wipes? It actually felt pretty good.
Now
One of the things blue-white lacks is kind of a generic removal spell, so like Deputy's able to provide that to a degree. I would like to absorb them here, because they're going to counterspell my absorb, and that gives me a window to resolve time wipe next turn. So they'll do this, and then this makes us discard a card and they draw off the Kiora, but then I get to kill Nick and Soul Diviner with this for time wipe. It was like an okay exchange for us. They've drawn, what, 3 cards off this Kiora? It's like pretty sweet. Definitely want to land. Next turn I can guaranteed flip this, which is nice. Yeah, Seal Away was like, Seal Away was probably going to have a text box, but, So I get a land here guaranteed by bidding that, because I'm flipping the Azcanta anyways. Like, now I have a chance to draw a spell. I don't think I want to jam into counter magic here. I think I just, like, pass and activate Azcanta. One of the things that's awkward is I am missing land drops. So probably going to commence the endgame at their end of turn. I expect the token to die, but it's just more resource efficient. And drawing actual cards as opposed to activating Azcanta potentially digs me 2 lands. And like hitting my 8th land is valuable here, because 8th land means I can Chemister's Insight plus activate Azcanta in the same turn, which is nice. So one of the things, someone in chat just said it's greedy to run Blaststone and Grixis. I think that's a too simplified take on what's actually going on. So one of the things you need to realize is that running a colorless land in your 3-color deck isn't automatically greedy. It's only greedy if you're cutting a colored land to do it. So the reality of the situation is some of these colorless lands are so good, they're basically spells, right? So if you're cutting a spell to play a Blast Zone or a Field of Ruin or a Mobilized District, that's perfectly fine. The thing that dictates your mana base being greedy in something like Grixis is if you don't have enough blue, red, and black spells to consistently cast the cards you're trying to play. That's what's actually greedy. That's another card that draws with Kiora. That's so good. I think I'm going to ditch this time wipe to this Chemister's Insight and try and draw a land. Kiora plus Phoenix is like kind of some sick technology, because it keeps coming back and drawing you cards. Yeah, their build's super neat. I have to discard 2 cards. That's incredibly rude. Yeah, exactly. Blaststone is a 27th land. Like, that sounds great. Yeah, I'm supposed to bin this. Their hand's probably full of removal. Yeah, probably supposed to get rid of this. Cloudy Worlds, thank you for the brand new Prime support. Hope you're having a fantastic weekend. Thanks for keeping me employed here. This is Tyrant Scorn's a card that's really impressed me for this reason right here. In these control matchups where your opponent likely doesn't have much removal, the fact that Tyrant Scorn can bounce your creature spells in response to the creature's response to their removal is really potent. Yep. Alright, found something to do with my deputy.
Will remake the multiverse in my image.
Wouldn't it have been better to absorb the Phoenix on the way back? Yeah. Yes. I agree with you.
Defiances infuriate. My schemes are never ending.
Chat, we're dying. The Grixis matchup feels painful no matter what flavor it comes in. Oh no! Oh no! Playing Ugin means their Nicol Bolas can kill my seal away. Woo, they didn't see it. They missed it. Woo! Woo! Alright, thank goodness. Thank goodness. Am I supposed to exile a Teferi here? Maybe I'm supposed to exile a Teferi here. Alright, let's see if Reversal can help at all. And, like, they're like a more mid-range Grixis, too, so it's like, do I keep Seal Away in? I feel like maybe I'm supposed to. Leave a couple. I've not been able to watch all your content. Did you find a Grixis list that felt good? I have a Grixis list that feels least bad. So far, Grixis kind of gets filed under, like, where Black-White Angels and a lot of other decks are, where, like, it seems fine and it's good in a lot of spots, but it's just, like, can never beat Wilderness Reclamation to save its life. Yeah, right? The opponent definitely has a lot of stuff going on. A wide range of cards. Probably a lot of 2s and 3s in their deck. I seem to have misplaced my arc bow. Sarkin said he hasn't seen it. Any idea where it went? Thanks for the 3 months, Machu. Welcome back. That's not strictly true, Ebok. That's one of the reasons why Ugin is so good. Ugin is a Grixis card that kills enchantments. He's busted. Voyas, thanks for the 14 months. Welcome back. Thanks for keeping me around. I would like to veto your thought erasure, please. Ooh, candy. This card's so good. It's so unreasonably good, chat. Why is she so unreasonably good? Nicol Bolas resolves. I think maybe I should have played a colorless land so I could discard an island there rather than my insight. Oh, you know what? That was a punt too. So I should have played Mobilized District there, because if they play 5 mana Nick and down tick on my Teferi, I could have killed it with Mobilized District. And now I'm gonna be in kind of a bad spot if that happens. Alright, not punished. God, the little micro decisions in these matches really add up. Hopefully I can just continue to be lucky and avoid them. Avoid getting punished. It's a good one to draw.
Let's skip
The classic thought erasure bug. Ooh. Ooh. Found a piece of candy. You know what? I'm gonna do this. And I'm gonna blink this. If you rearrange the letters in Nicol Bolas, you get Ball of Coins.
We need to move quickly.
This game's over, right? I just do this, and then I untap and have Ugin. Alright, they fumbled and bumbled, and we were able to capitalize there. If I change my mind, you can send me some pigs if loop. Oh, you mean if I want to Glacial brand people at the Modern Tournament? Nah, I think I'm gonna Elf Ball people. Elves is a good mix of powerful and consistent. I really wish we would have run into Reclamation at some point with this deck. So I think these blue-white decks really stomp all over that archetype. This card. Teferi and Narset are just like the stop your BS Reclamation player, like power couple combo. They're just like, no, no, no. Soul Diviner into Kiora. Kiora is kind of like a busted 2-3. It's like actually gonna draw 2 cards this turn.
Leave my squids alone. The ocean surges lice.
God, it's like a divination that hangs out to draw more cards afterwards. I'm so unbelievably jealous right now.
You show remorse. I'll show you. There goes nothing.
Hey, diddle diddle, Kiora and the fiddle. The Soul Diviner jumped over the moon. And like, Kiora ramps them to turn 4 Nicol Bolas here. That's so good. Dubs absorbs, what's up? Come at me, bro. Yep. I think Narset plus Teferi stomp around on the most things. Well, that's incredibly rude. At least my counter spells still work, I guess.
Oh, I've done this.
So they told me I can't draw more cards. I get to tell them they can't play instants. They don't have that many counter spells in their deck that we've seen though, so I'm not sure that Time Raveler's extra text is super relevant here. That just resolves, so I have 2 copies of Absorb. He took my Azcanta. Okay. Interesting.
Hone your prowess.
Man, Soul Diviner can, like, eat the last counter off of Narset, too, if the rest of her text isn't good.
One drop.
Sir Alacane, thank you for the tier 1 sub. Welcome, welcome. Thanks for keeping me around. Yeah, I guess they don't have a way to take Azcanta off the table. That's true. At some point, I'd like to draw lands to cast Ugin, but I guess drawing counterspells is good. Until they play, like, Nickel Bolas or Rekindling Phoenix, that is. Stop it. Land. Land.
I love to make a splash.
Okay. Slow ride.
Here goes nothing.
Take it easy. Doo-doo. Doo-doo. Scry top. That's terrifying. They've had access to 5 mana for a little while thanks to Kiora. I think I just ditch. Oh gosh. She lets them flip this a turn sooner too? Man, did they break Grixis? I feel like whatever they're doing is the best version of Grixis I've seen. It's like more mid-rangey. But like the more controlling builds have been a little bit hit or miss.
Nature flows with vigor.
As always, you can find upcoming deck lists that we're going to be playing. Link to the deck queue. Fallen Bowser, thank you for the 3-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome, welcome, welcome back. Yeah, I don't know. So, like, the Deputy of Detention plus Time Wipe interaction, like, felt reasonable. But in comparison to this build of Blue-White Control that we had played previously, I feel like I preferred this build that had slightly more counterspells in it. Just because these colors don't have a stellar suite of removal. So it feels like if I'm not going to have like a stellar suite of removal like blue, black, or Esper has access to, I need to just prevent more of their stuff from ever actually hitting the board. So I feel like trying to lean into Deputy to like make up for the fact that our removal is worse ended up ultimately not feeling particularly good. And if I want to focus on a 2-color control deck, which I think is not unreasonable, like having access to these colorless lands is like super good in a lot of spots. I think I would want to focus on that in builds that had access to a little bit more counter magic and a little bit less than something like this. I would like to comment that out of the sideboard, Elite Guardmage seemed very reasonable. So if I was going to try a more counterspell focused build, I would probably play some of this card in the sideboard for like the red aggro and like white weenie matchup. Anonymous, thanks for the 2-month resub. I appreciate that. Welcome back. Is it okay if I cut Niv from my Saheeli Niv submission? I think Narset makes it too embarrassing. Yeah, that's fine, Percep. Hey, Appletoon, thanks for the 17. And Anonymous, thanks for the 2. Fallen Bowser, I think I got Bowser. At any rate, thanks everyone. Hope everyone's having a great Saturday night, by the way. If you're a new viewer, thanks for dropping in. This is not normally the time when I stream. Usually I stream like 9 to 5 Monday through Friday, like normal business hours.